I keep exiting out of the thing. Oh my gosh.
Well, don't do that.
I should have just done windowed version.
Welcome, fellow castigators, to Brotocracy. I am here with, what are you guys doing? With,
Observing.
Tommy and Jensen and Micah.
Yes, sir. I'm here today.
I'm sorry that I kept pausing. I thought you had a little song, Jensen.
No.
No?
I did not get that ready in time, so next year.
Dang. All right. So we're gonna do a little
Next year.
something a little bit different today. We don't have a lot of articles. I mean, Christmas week, nothing ever happens anyway. That's just kind of expected.
It's the time to celebrate Jesus,
Indeed.
Jesus.
Indeed.
his birthday.
So
It's not technically his birthday, but
we've got just
that's
a
when we celebrate
few
it.
articles, and then we are going to go over the big points of the year, the big things that have happened.
Yes.
But first, I want to mention something that's not in our links below, and that is that Vivek Ramaswamy has been saying some rather disappointing things.
Who?
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for him.
So did I. In
The Spacing Guild.
the Republican debates,
No.
he has been unfathomably based. So I've had high hopes for him and Elon Musk being in charge of Doge, but there seems to be some pretty important things that Vivek does not understand. And the main thing that sparked this conversation was meritocracy was what the discussion was.
Oh, shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, guys.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
I crashed.
Oh,
I don't know if it pulls you
no.
guys out. Does it just kick you all?
I'm still here.
It's flashing a little disconnect sign, but we're still here. So I don't know.
You're gonna get kicked.
Probably Tommy's running into a
He's
wall.
crashed out, folks.
Yeah, you're in the midst. You're in the start over because I was messing with the volume to make my game volume quiet. Oh, shoot.
Vivek is
Wrong character.
questionably talked about merits, apparently.
Yes. So he doesn't see. Somehow, he does not see how regular Americans are being passed over for merit-based jobs. Which is crazy because he seems to be acutely aware of the open border problems.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, it's just... Sorry, Borderlands is giving me a million things. So he states it a lot more complicated than this, but basically it's
Join
that
Micah.
old age libtard argument of, oh, if we deport everyone, you know, who's going to pick our food and wash our toilets and everything? And of course, it's you know, a racist way of thinking. But obviously, the answer is Americans. The answer will always be Americans. This is such a simple and easy answer.
So he's talking about deportation.
No, he was not talking specifically about that. I was a little confused as to... Like, I understood a bunch of little points, but I don't really know what he was trying to say in general. which is the concerning part, is trying to decipher where he's heading with this. I probably should have read it out. Being a fool.
Oh, there we go. So,
But
basically, he's talking about like jobs.
One of his big points was he's saying that the reason things are the way they are with Americans not being the ones succeeding in sort of jobs that require high education, that kind of thing, is he's saying that they're not working hard enough.
The jobs that require higher education, the people aren't working
He's
hard
saying
enough.
that Americans are not working hard enough, and he had this really weird string of logic where he's like, "Oh, we've been gradually infantilized since like certain sitcoms in the 90s." Like he was saying that like people who grew up watching Boy Meets World grew up to be dumb. I'm not sure I follow this line of logic at all.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean, I think
read out.
Americans in general, like the culture has definitely leaned towards not being competent, like being really lax.
I think it
also
depends on where you are, honestly.
I mean,
And
there is
what
general trends
you're doing.
I can slightly agree with I could slightly agree with him in the sense that I think that there is an infantilization regarding the youth.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of youth that don't do shit.
Like I could concede that. But I think that's largely because of the internet. I don't think it's because of 90s or early 2000s sitcoms. That's
I think the culture,
pushing
like
it.
broadly, but not specifically, TV shows or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm learning that I should definitely read out parts of this tweet. Is what I should do. I'm gonna.
Oh my gosh! Just because I ripped out. That's not good.
Yeah. He's right and he's wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, yeah, there are Americans who aren't working hard enough to get a job and have a career, and then there are yes ones with higher paying jobs and careers who just don't work at all. And are incredibly lazy.
Oh, I crashed.
It's like the systems in place and also the competence.
But if he's not...
Both of those.
But yeah, as a businessman, he should know you got to look at people's numbers to see how competent they're really being, because if they're in a high-paying job and they're not doing jack, I mean, obviously give them the boot.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to remember, he's not talking about everyone's jobs, because he's only in charge of the government. Which does have a lot of fat.
I'm going to all right, so I'm going to kind of go over this quickly. I'm not going to read it word for word, but you can find it if you want. He said the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit. A key part of it comes down to culture. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. That sounds a little...
Right.
That sounds a little like some bitterness from his youth. But that's neither here nor there. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World, or Zack and Slater over Screech in Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. I only know who Urkel is. I don't know any of these other people.
Just more sitcom people. It's just kind of weird. Why is he going after sitcom
He said,
characters?
I know multiple sets
really
of
doesn't like 'em.
immigrant parents in the
I
90s who
guess.
actively limited how much their kids would watch these TV shows, precisely because they promoted mediocrity. And their kids went on to become wildly successful STEM graduates. Which is weird, because, like, being a jock doesn't necessarily mean promoting mediocrity. I mean,
Yeah, I think he's failing somehow to understand
Like,
that
there's
it's
a
just
lot of-
entertainment.
like you're still working towards a pretty big goal there. You're still, I don't know.
I mean, I enjoy It's Always Sunny, and those people are idiots and promote
And horrible human beings.
horrible human beings and promote doing some grift on someone every episode. That's what it is. Them
Yeah.
grifting. Yet, like, I'm smart
it's
enough
like
to know
amusement.
that I shouldn't aspire to be that,
Right.
and I can be better than that quite easily. So I don't understand this sitcom.
I guess he's-
bashing.
I guess he's saying, like, you don't want to replicate or put on a pedestal certain characters that have
Oh, of course.
bad character traits.
Look,
maybe?
I mean, like, It's Always Sunny, everybody is obviously a bad character, and they're not glorified as something good.
Right.
I think he's failing to understand that most shows, when there are characters who have bad traits, they're not glorified as something good.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's failing to understand that. I mean, nowadays, yes, he could say that, because there's a lot of bad television nowadays, but he's talking about 90s and early 2000s sitcoms, which, I've seen quite a few, and they're not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand this at all. Like, is he seriously fundamentally not understanding television character writing?
I mean, I think people have use bad characters as role models. Like, younger people have used bad characters as
yeah,
role
if you want
models.
us to go
We've seen
after
that.
our American
Absolutely.
Psycho memes, I get it.
Yeah, but I
We
mean,
love our
you know,
American
that's like
Psycho memes.
you said, that's more recent times rather than past times, because, like, back in the day, I don't think many people would treat them as role models, and the shows wouldn't treat them as role models to aspire towards. They would kind of be like, see, this is what you don't do, because this, and this bad thing will happen.
Right. Well, there's more.
I think he's mixing the two.
He says more movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chillin', more extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. Most normal American parents...
All of those are okay in moderation.
looks
So he wants us to be Harkonnens, basically.
Most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal Americans use those kinds of kids with scorn. If you grew up aspiring to normalcy, normalcy is what you will achieve, whatever normalcy is. Now close your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s or even now who raise their kids according to one model versus the other. Be brutally honest. Normalcy doesn't cut it in a hyper-competitive global market for technical talent. And if we pretend like it does, we'll have our booties handed to us by China. I censored that.
Well,
this
also
can
it
be-
depends on if you're hiring out of the country labor versus in-country labor, because you can outsource labor and it's a lot cheaper
Right. Oh, and
than
yeah.
if you hire.
Okay, we'll get to
US.
that. So this can be our Sputnik moment. We're awakened from slumber before, and we can do it again. Culture that again prioritizes excellence over mediocrity, nerdiness over conformity, hard work over laziness. That's the work we have cut out for us, rather than wallowing in victimhood and just wishing alternative hiring practices into existence. And that's that. So basically his point is you're not trying hard enough. And
Yeah, that's
There-
true. To an extent.
that's
People
fair
aren't trying hard
to
enough.
some extent, but it is far and away not even close to the biggest problem.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is nebulous. I think to put it down to this is ridiculous. Like, we had this conversation before about that one TikToker client crying about her job. And obviously that was cringe and stupid, but the thing was that she had every right to be upset because the economy is so bad that it's essentially not getting anywhere. And suffering long hours to, live at home, essentially. So there's not.
Oh my gosh.
So you could make a point about laziness, but you could also point out that there is really not a lot of motivation in the first place to do more. Oh my gosh, these stupid pop-ups. This is unbearable.
Yeah, it's definitely not the main issue. I mean, it's a good mentality to have, but it's also a balance because you don't want to be you don't want to be like super strict with your kids. Be like, okay, no fun for you. You're gonna play the piano.
No fun,
do
no work.
math problems.
Why aren't you doctor
I've
yet?
seen that happen.
Yeah,
I've seen
why
that
aren't you doctor
happen
yet?
firsthand.
Why you not
Firsthand,
married?
no fun. Just
Yeah. This is
you
America.
will read this book. You will play this instrument.
We also
you will
have-
do XXX, and then maybe you can have some fun later in the day. I've seen that turn out disastrous results.
Yeah.
Again, everything everything he's against right now is okay in moderation. But I'm failing to understand this
This is America. We also have pursuit
Culture
of happiness. That's also a part of the...
pursuing.
That is true. It's in the law.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess I don't really watch a whole lot of these shows, but shows and media pushing mediocrity. Like what is he talking
Yeah,
about?
I could see super modern shows pushing mediocrity by being mediocre.
I haven't heard him talk
but
about modern shows though.
Yeah,
like-
90s sitcoms encouraging
There
mediocrity. I don't
there is
see
a
that.
lot of people in prominent places in science who were inspired by Star Trek.
Right.
It's okay to be inspired by your stupid television show.
Yeah.
But again, that's a show of characters pushing not mediocrity. So
Yeah,
what?
this
I don't
might be
get what he's
like out of
talking about.
touch.
Honestly,
Might be a slightly out of touch
I think he is.
Right, it sounds like
thing,
it sounds like a
you know how
boomer.
the older conservatives.
Yeah, it's like a boomer
He
mentality.
said less comics, but Superman has pushed a lot of people to want to be stronger and better than themselves. I've seen that a lot.
Right.
Well, he doesn't like jocks, so also rules that out.
I guess.
He's got a personal vendetta against the jockeying race.
good.
Probably.
I mean, realistically, you need both types of mentalities if you if you use them correctly. Like if you have a virtuous jock and a virtuous chess club guy or whatever, like they both work in unison to create an actual functioning team. I mean, you could, like you said in Star Trek, like that's literally the dynamic, right? It's just,
Right, you need both kinds.
yeah, like that's the whole message of the dynamic between those some of the characters there. It's like you have different ways of doing different things, but that all contributes to the end goal of doing good. So
Can
yeah,
you think of any kind of media that promotes mediocrity? Anyone?
in the 90s.
In the
And 90s, early
90s, in the
2000s,
90s
I guess.
specifically, I don't know. I can only think of modern shows right now. You know, stuff like
Yeah, I can think of modern
like
stuff. but,
Euphoria,
what
which is like
he's
do drugs,
talking
have
about?
fun. But
What is he talking about?
Consequences. You will definitely not die in a coma.
Definitely
I remember he said Friends, right? He mentioned Friends.
Okay,
right.
Friends, I heard is
haven't
actually
seen
a
it.
horrible, like horribly.
I only know it through memes because it's a white woman show.
It is. It is a white
That's-
They,
All I know.
I don't know
about
what
it.
it's called. Like
It's
the,
okay.
the message of the show is very bad.
I'm not sure. I mean, it has some
A message?
I don't know that it has a message. So, I mean, if
That's-